would.
Yes.
I've decided to be honest.
A good thing, yeah.
Yeah. I've elected the way of transparency. Every so often, I'm just my last. Okay, in the last episode, we talked a lot about preamble. We preambled about preamble.
We did.
This time, I'm going to preamble, but I'm going to preamble about. It's going to be like on topic for the movie we're reviewing.
Okay.
Yeah. I, every so often, never both of us for the most part, unless it's like a new release that we're both, we're like, ugh, unless it's like Cats. Typically, going into, because of the way we do our votes, if it's a new release, it's a new release that at least one of us is very excited for. Usually, both of us moderately anticipating the film.
Yeah.
And if it's a vote, it can be hit or miss. Typically, always one of us, because we choose. We sort of collectively choose what the movie options are going to be for the vote. One of us is always a fan of the movie.
Sure.
Right. Sometimes the other person who did not put forth the winning option can go into an episode dreading it, can kind of go into, maybe not going into the episode dreading it, but can go into having to sit down and watch the movie, and review it. We can dread that a little bit. We're like,
sure. Yeah.
We're like, if I wasn't obligated to sit down, if I didn't feel obligated to sit down and review this, there's no way that I would. That was kind of this movie for me.
Really?
Yeah. And not because I think not because I had some kind of preconceived notion of it being a bad movie. I'd seen it once before, and I didn't think it was a bad movie by any means. Right? I kind of, and I've been thinking about this all day. It's kind of like, for me, I was just like, okay, my thoughts on Good Will Hunting for a long time have been, okay, yeah, I get it. Shut up already. Like, yeah, okay, it's a great film. Like, enough. Right? Kind of like when Judy's, is like, well, my little Tommy scored, came home with the gold medal, and, and Tommy is going for a scholar. Okay, Judy, but even Jesus wants to punch Tommy in the face. So nobody likes your child.
Right.
We get it. He's extremely talented. He's very gifted.
Right.
But shut up about your stupid child. And that was that has been my, that's been my relationship for a long time with Good Will Hunting. And it was certainly indicative of my, my thought process going in to sit down and watch Good Will Hunting. Hello and welcome.
That is a teaser if I've ever heard one.
Yeah. Yeah, and I won't tell you how it turned out. That's just that is I mean, I will. I'm not going to tell you right now.
Tune in next week.
I'm not showing you my whole hand as kind of a,
Of course.
But yeah. So
hello and welcome to the Movie Men podcast. I am Peter. That is Brady. And
or Captain Hot Take, as we
that's not even wrong. Like, I think that's pretty accurate.
We both have hot takes, but
yes.
I would say more often, like if someone came to the two of us as a duo,
yes,
and said, "Quick, I'm going to need a hot take,"
right.
I would be the more reliable option.
Oh yes,
I probably have one up my sleeve.
You do the hot takes the 6 days of the week, and then the day that you need off, I show up and give a hot take. So we both do it, but we
hot
continue.
Hot take. A person who is prolific in hot takes is just a nicer way of saying a real shit disturber. Someone who just likes to get in there and stir the pot.
I mean, maybe.
Controversy.
Perhaps. It's hard to say. But we continue our journey. We have a system. If you're new to us, if you're regulars, then you're familiar. But we're going year by year in film. We have some options, and for each year, we do a few different votes. This was a vote, obviously, and it was the final vote for 1997. We had Austin Powers, Men in Black, Liar Liar, and the aforementioned Good Will Hunting.
I had no doubt. Also, I had no doubt. Like, the other three options just felt like formalities.
I don't think I had an idea going in, but it was pretty clear. Yeah, like I was pretty aware early on that it was going a certain direction.
Right. Yeah. It's just because it's so. It's Good Will Hunting.
I know
it's iconic.
I know. Okay, so I've seen half of these films. I've seen Liar Liar, so I thought there might be enough of a following to do that. I know I haven't seen it, but I know Men in Black is popular, and I know Austin Powers is popular. So I thought there might be a bit of a balance, but it was pretty clear. The people and the Patreon voters, they both just steamrolled this thing and just like pushed it over the finish line.
But here's the thing. I think you would be top 15, top 10, top 10, no, top 15 or top 20. I think you would be hard pressed to find maybe not an individuals, but sort of like an aggregated top 15 or top 20 movie list that didn't have Good Will Hunting either on it or as a runner-up.
Sure, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, the others are popular, but not necessarily.
Yeah, nobody's putting Austin Powers
right. Yeah,
that's on the
true.
top 20 greatest films ever made.
And same with like Liar Liar. It's like, okay, Jim Carrey's great.
Yeah, comedy classic.
But yeah, that's true.
It's cut from Good Will Hunting is cut from a different. Good Will Hunting is Oscar bait.
Yeah,
to an extent.
Sure. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
It's just more of a Anyways, do you have a trivia, sir?
Well, since you asked. Oh dang, that was loud. Woo.
It was.
Whew.
It was. The
My
guy
goodness.
that edits the podcast is
God bless him, because that
probably
was
going to be pissed off.
that dial got a little bit turned up.
Jeez.
Woo! Oh man. Okay.
You're lucky this is just a podcast, because there are professions where that, having not checked your equipment prior to,
right.
if you're paging from the pilot's cabin, from the cockpit. Whoa! Sorry, passengers. That dial got just turned right up, didn't it?
Sorry, boys. Yeah. Okay. It's going to boil down to two questions this week. But before I get to them, well, you know what? I think it'll serve best if I ask them, and then I'll get my just stuff I want to share off my chest.
Okay.
So, there are multiple choice to differing degrees. You'll see where I'm going with that.
Okay.
The first one is... Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to challenge you with this one. I want you to just see if you can tell me, and I'll give you hints, but I think it's more fun if I try and make you squirm. So,
I'm glad you thought this all the way through before starting.
I was bouncing around with it a lot today, and I think I've come to this decision.
Okay.
So, this film, Good Will Hunting, you already said it. It had some Oscar bait going for it.
Yeah.
No stranger to Oscar nominations. It actually had quite a few. Quite a few indeed. I can list them out to you, but I don't necessarily have to. But there's 5 in particular, 5 nominations, and they all have something in common. And I want you to tell me what they had in common.
Okay.
And this is just leading to a conversation bit. So I'll spoon feed you a little bit where I'm wanting to go with this. But think about the year that this would have been in Oscars. What other films came out in the same year?
Oh, 90s. Okay. Austin Powers. We've established that.
What Oscar baity movies would have come out in 97?
Okay. Con Air.
Yep.
If there's an award for worst hair,
And for the record, Good Will Hunting got 9 nominations, but 5 of them had something in common.
Okay. And I just have to, is it multiple choice or I just have to?
You just have to tell me. You use your gut instincts.
Are you going to tell me what the nominations were?
Best Picture, Best Picture, Best Directing, Best Original Dramatic Score, Best Original Song, Best Film Editing.
They're all the best of something.
Yeah. Well,
that's what they have in common.
Well, yeah. Listen, this is
more than that.
Yeah, there's more than that. They all lost to Titanic. So just think about it. 5 out of your 9 Oscar, you got 9 Oscar nominations, and like half of them all went to another film. So it's just incredible that there's just
5 times when they opened the envelope and said, and the Academy Award goes to, and Matt Damon and Ben Affleck sat there and went, oh,
no kidding. That's what I mean. Like,
glancing over at DiCaprio, you son of a...
Well, not him specifically. He didn't even get one, to be honest. He should have. That's a moment for the other day. My point is...
Really? Okay, whoa. Really?
That's wild. Yes.
No. The Titanic thing. You think, like, DiCaprio has had many Oscar-worthy performances. Would you argue he should have gotten one for Titanic?
I will, but I will say that is bias. I would agree that there are far more deserving ones that didn't get it. Yeah. So, like, if we made a list, it would be probably near the bottom. But
right, like he's good in Titanic.
Yes,
but I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say Kate Winslet is better in Titanic than he is,
and she got an Oscar nom. So I mean, maybe that makes sense then.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe that makes sense. But my point is, I'm not sure. Like, Oscars, it all comes down to what is your what are you competing against that here? And we'll get into this a bit later in the episode.
See, people get angry, and we'll talk about this in 2 weeks when we do our Oscar episode.
100%.
3 weeks? 3 weeks. But people get really pissed off because for some reason everyone thinks that the Oscars exist in a vacuum. And that they'd be like, well, this film deserved an Oscar, or he deserved an Oscar for that. Well, sure. But many other films came out that year, and someone else just happened to, sure, DiCaprio brought his A game this year in this film.
Right.
But just so happens that so did someone else.
Yeah.
And it happened to edge him out.
Right. Yep.
So when people are like, oh, he was snubbed. Well, no. No, he wasn't. And no one's saying that he wasn't incredible. And an Oscar nomination is not something to turn your nose... Just because you don't win. An Oscar nomination is nothing to turn your nose up at.
Right.
So, anyways.
Yeah. No, it's... I'm showing my cards a little bit here, but 9 Oscar noms is amazing. 5 went to Titanic. So, like you said, like, probably every point in this night, they're like, son of a gun. Like, come on.
Friggin'... Yeah.
Like, come on, James Cameron. Couldn't you have done this last year? So 5 went to Titanic, 1 went to As Good as It Gets, 1 went to LA Confidential, and they did win 2 Oscars, so they did get some recognition in the end. But my hot take, and I'm just going to plant a seed, I think some people would say, hey, in any other year that James Cameron doesn't drop Titanic, maybe it's more monumental and they get more of those 9. I'm wondering if they would have. I know this is a good film and we'll get into it, but I'm not convinced.
It's a good film, but even 9 surprises me.
9 also surprises me, and I don't mean that totally as a slight, but it's like, I don't know. If it had won like 8 of the 9 or something, I think I would have been floored. So I guess I'm just trying to drop a seed that maybe this film didn't live up to what it did, but we'll get into that.
I will say any of the categories that you listed the Titanic won, had Good Will Hunting beat out Titanic, I would be boycotting the Oscars.
100%.
Like there's none of those that I look at and go, maybe that should have gone to Good Will. No, of course not.
Right.
Which 2 did it win?
It won Best Supporting Actor.
And Robin Williams.
Yes.
Okay.
And it won so Ben Affleck and Matt Damon got they co-won it for the Best Original Screenplay. And
Okay.
this actually leads well into my next question. Matt Damon was I'll get into that at the end. Matt Damon became the fourth person who was nominated for both an acting Oscar and a writing Oscar in the same year. So he wrote the screenplay for this film and acted in this film, and so obviously his nominations for both were in the same year. Can you list the other three persons who had accomplished that feat? So they got Oscar nominated in the same year for acting and for screenplay writing. And I'll give you some options. So
who's starred in movies that they've written? Hit me with options.
So I'm going to give you a slew of 5 options, and 3 of them, remember? So Matt Damon was the 4th, so 3 of these coming names are correct.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
Charlie Chaplin.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Orson Welles.
Oh, God. Why? Okay. I mean... And then someone actually from this decade.
Hey, come on. Kenneth Branagh.
Ew, for Orient Express, I'm guessing.
Sylvester Stallone.
What?
And Quentin Tarantino. 3 of those 5 had also been nominated for both acting and writing in the same year.
Well, Tarantino appears in things, but to the best of my knowledge, he appears in things to the extent of like Peter Jackson gnawing on a carrot in Lord of the Rings.
I mean, a little bit more, but I get your point. Yeah.
He's not getting an Oscar nom for his acting. So that's out. That's bullshit.
Well, okay.
No.
Well,
no. Screw that and screw you for including that. Sylvester Stallone, I don't even know if the man has an Oscar. Maybe for Rocky.
And remember, it's an Oscar nomination for both. Doesn't necessarily mean they had to win, but they were nominated in both the same year. He's
definitely got, but I don't know if he wrote Rocky. I mean, I imagine he did. He didn't direct it, but I imagine maybe he's definitely a producer on it. Like you think of Rocky and Sylvester Stallone and sort of that franchise, and you don't see him just as a lead. He's just like part of the DNA of Rocky is, it's like Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool.
Sure.
Right? It is his franchise. So maybe for Rocky, there's 3 others, you said? I'm looking for 3?
You're looking for 3 in total.
And you listed 5?
Yes. So you eliminated Quentin Tarantino, so that means you have to eliminate
one more. I think Sylvester Stallone, maybe.
Okay.
Kenneth Branagh for Orient Express is interesting. And it's a weird name for you to just come up with. What were the other 2?
Charlie Chaplin, Orson Welles.
I don't know that Orson Welles wrote anything. In his heyday, he was certainly the most well-known and popular actor. And in fact, earlier today,
yes,
I was listening to the War of the Worlds broadcast.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's neat.
I'm going to... Charlie Chaplin, did he... Yeah, he was... I mean, he wrote stuff. Kind of. I'm going to eliminate Orson Welles, but not I'm eliminating Tarantino confidently.
Sure.
And I'm eliminating Orson Welles not so confidently.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't know how to award this, so I'll kind of go... And then I'll also go...
Oh my goodness. You got something. That's so much better. I love that. That is incredible.
Okay, so Charlie Chaplin was one. For The Great Dictator in 1940, he both got a nom for acting and writing. Sylvester Stallone. This shocked me. I guess I just didn't realize what he was, his accomplishments were. But yeah, for Rocky, he got a nom for acting and writing.
Okay.
And I knew this one. I did not take
Brana.
What's that? Not Braun. Not in the same year. Not in the same year. He's been direct. All these names, Kenneth Branagh at least has been nominated for both, just not in the same year.
So it's got to be Orson Welles.
It is.
Again, there's no way Tarantino.
No. Tarantino is just solely for screenplay writing. Orson Welles, if you remember, he directed, wrote, and was the lead star in Citizen Kane in 1941. So it was Chaplin, Welles, and Stallone, making Matt Damon the fourth to be both nominated for acting and writing in the same year.
Citizen Kane. Mm-hmm. It's because we haven't gotten to 1941 in our...
It'll be interesting to see, like, we'll keep going.
We've talked about that. When do we stop? Like, when do the years become so obscure?
Yeah, like, I think we'll know when it's like, all right, we each have, like, one voting option. It's like...
we'll definitely drop back down to, like, 2 and then 1 vote per year.
Right, for sure.
But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see...
Right.
Yeah.
So we had one voting option this week, and it was Old Yeller, and let's get to it.
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing I'll say to wrap...
We had to exclude all other options from that year just because...
No one cared.
Wow, they were all so full of, like, racial slurs and, like, nothing had aged well. It was... You get back far enough and you're like, none of these films are politically correct enough for us to go anywhere near.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck became the youngest and second youngest people to ever win an Oscar for screenplay writing. Matt Damon was 27, Ben Affleck 25, which is just incredible. Like, good for them.
And both younger and more accomplished than we are now.
I didn't want to say it, but I was thinking it.
Yeah.
And the Harvard connection for this film, apparently Ben Affleck's parents, or at least father and stepmother, worked as custodians at Harvard University.
Okay.
And I know this in the movie took place at MIT, but for whatever reason, I'm bringing up Harvard. Matt Damon, who, according to Wiki, didn't graduate from Harvard, but he was at Harvard for a period of time anyway. And he started writing this film for one of his final assignments in a screenplay writing class. And I think it changed quite a bit from like then to when they were making the film. I think the only thing that was like verbatim the same was when Will met Robin Williams. But
right.
And then the last thing, the Toronto connection for this film, although some things were filmed in Boston for some of the outside locations, many of the interior shots were filmed actually at various parts of the University of Toronto, standing in for MIT.
Yep, I did know that.
I did not. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, how do we break into this?
I don't know. I can tell you what I like. I can tell you what I dislike.
I do have that. Like I did. This is. I don't always do that, but for this film, I did divide it into pros and cons.
Yeah. Yeah. There are some things that I think are great, and then there's some stuff where I'm like, eh.
Can I lead off with a hot take, and then we'll break into it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I was thinking this when I was watching this film. I think there's some things that definitely aged well, and then some things that felt a little lukewarm now that I've watched it after all these years. And that could be the context of, at the time it was more original, and then since then maybe some similarities have come through. But I will say 100% the things that have aged well, or at least still are just rock solid and this incredible pieces of film, any scene with Robin Williams in it just drives this film. And then any scene where he's missing, that's where I'd start questioning like, oh, yeah, there's something missing here. I know his character doesn't make sense that he's in this film, or in every scene of this film, so it's not a critique, but there's just a different level that this film goes to every scene that he's in.
My favorite moment in this movie, and it's not just because I think it's a great moment, but because I have some behind-the-scenes insight for.
Ooh.
It's the very last shot.
Oh!
When Robin Williams is reading the note I got to see about a girl.
Right.
and he says, "Son of a bitch, he stole my line."
Yeah, that's so good.
In the script, so it's a great moment, but in the script, Robin Williams reads the note, smiles, and then goes in the house. He completely improvised that line. It was never in the script.
Gosh, that's so much better.
It's so golden. It's so good, and that's one of the reasons. It's one of my favorite. It is my favorite moment because it is such a great moment. It's such a great line, but also because it showcases the genius and craft of Robin Williams.
Right.
Yeah.
The genius and craft, and now, like, every time I see him on screen now, I just always am curious. I'm like, is this exactly how it was on the script, or is this improvised? Like, for everything
Assuredly never.
Assuredly, yeah, right.
Assuredly never.
Right. Yeah.
And, like, I think I also read somewhere once that the story he tells about his wife farting is completely improvised, which is why Matt Damon's laughter in that scene is so convincing, is because it's genuine, because it's him genuinely reacting to Robin riffing on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the man's a legend.
He is.
Yeah. So what do you want to know?
Well, do you want to start with cons and then we can follow up with the good?
Well, so, like, is this a movie you enjoy? You put it on the list.
I did. I think I put it on the list. I put it on the list for a few reasons, to be honest. This won't be the first, but I'll definitely give a shout out to a friend of the show, Ben Sumner. I know it's a good favorite film of his, and he's like, at times he'll share movie clips with me, and he's like, yeah, movie clips from this film, and I've seen this film before, so I was aware of it. Like, I knew the good parts, and I knew how popular it was, so that's kind of why I put it into the mix. I was like, you know what, who knows if it'll win, but if it does, it'll be an interesting conversation. And so I've seen it a couple times, not recently, and so I wasn't really sure how it would live up to me. I wasn't sure if it would just meet expectations, exceed expectations. This is a movie that I YouTube a lot of clips for, so a lot of scenes were familiar because I've YouTubed them recently. But I wouldn't say I grew up with this, or it's my favorite film, or it's in my top 20.
He doesn't share movie clips with me.
I mean, not every day. He's a busy guy, but just on occasion.
And I've known the guy longer.
Well, I mean, that's true. I'm sure he likes you more.
I don't think that's true.
It's not a contest. He likes us both equally. He's not our dad. I mean, he should be.
I'm not convinced. Why? Because he's not old enough.
No, not even a bit. But I think, like, he's a cool dad. Like, he's always like, hey, I made this boat, and I'm like going out into the wilderness and hunting some elk for supper.
Yes. I don't know why this has turned into the Ben Sumner parenting show, but I also
I don't know.
I also would not want to. He seems like a great dad. And I've seen him parenting, and he's a great dad.
Sure.
And he's a big Green Day fan, and I'm a big Green Day fan.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's interesting.
Yeah,
well, I knew about you, not about Ben.
And him and I have gone fishing. We went catfish fishing.
Yeah, that checks out. I believe it.
Chew on that. But I also wouldn't, like, if I were his kid, I also wouldn't want to get on his bad side. Not because I think he's gonna, like, I don't think he's like an angry, aggressive guy by any means. He just he just strikes me as like, like, how you're supposed to have like a healthy fear for your parents in like an authoritative way.
Right.
I feel that with him. There's some friends of mine that I'm like, if you tried to discipline me, I wouldn't be able to take you seriously as your child. But Ben, I would take seriously.
I can't believe how deep into the weeds we're getting into this Ben Sumner episode. But
yeah. I also don't think he can grow facial hair. Isn't that a thing?
I
think he kind of can.
I'm sure he could.
but not to the extent that he would like to.
I mean, isn't that everyone?
That's most of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, Good Will Hunting.
Anyway, Good Will Hunting. I was familiar with it, had seen it. I knew it was cultural significance, and I've loved and watched different scenes on repeat before.
Okay. Let me crap on parts of it now.
Sure, I'll join in, and then we'll follow up with good stuff.
Okay. It is we'll alternate. I'll give you something.
Yeah.
I'm just going to start small. I'll give you something, you give me something. I'm just going to
Sure.
start small.
Yeah.
I understand that it's 1997.
Sure.
But keeping that in mind, this is the same year that Titanic came out,
Right.
right? So there's anyways. And that this is certainly a lower budget film.
Sure.
However, I was a little surprised when I was watching it that there were. I'm in the process of buying a new camera. I want a new camera, and I'm looking at cameras that will help me get kind of a good cinematic looking shot.
Nice.
And I'm comparing a lot of the cameras that I'm looking at to this like 13-year-old Sony Handycam that I have. Now it's a top of the line. Like 13 years ago, I paid $1,500 for it. It's a Handycam, like a camcorder, but it takes, DSLR lenses on it. Like it's a serious camera. And there were a couple of moments, a couple of shots in this movie where I looked at it and I thought, that looks, the framing, the feeling, the picture quality, the depth of field, like just everything, the level of cinematic this is on par or subpar to what I was achieving 13 years ago when I got my new Sony Handycam.
Okay.
It's just, it feels like a student film. It's shot like a student film. And I think that gives it some charm in a way because it's
true.
like young, rough Matt Damon and young, rough Ben Affleck really just trying to like cut their teeth on the industry, and this is really a make or break it kind of film for them. Like the fact that they've landed Stellan Skarsgård and Robin Williams is a friggin' feat of miracle here. Right? This is the film that's either going to put them on the map or it's going to screw them out of Hollywood forever.
Yeah.
And so the lower feeling production, the rough around the edges kind of cinematography does give it a bit of charm in that sense. But in one or two scenes, that charm it goes a little too far, and that charm becomes me looking at it going, what monkey did you have shooting this scene? Because it looks bad. And, in 2022, I could shoot a better scene on my cell phone. Hands down, could shoot. No, I mean, that says a lot about the cameras that we have on our phones now.
Of course.
But still, it's still at its point. They still would have been using cinema cameras worth tens of thousands of dollars, and it's not like, well, it's just a victim of the time in which it was made,
Right.
Because Titanic came out that year.
Right.
Now, Titanic's a much bigger, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But 35 years prior, Sound of Music came out.
Right.
50 years prior, The Wizard of Oz came out, and some shots in that feel more cinematic than what you've been giving me right now.
Interesting.
So that is my slap it upside the face number one.
Sure. Okay, I'm gonna bounce off a little comical one, and then I'll get into I'll bounce one back to you. So, Ben Affleck's tracksuit was a con for me. I couldn't get past that.
Don't be hating.
I I know it was
You're
sign of
hating.
the times, baby, but boy, that thing did not.
You're hating.
I am okay.
You're hating, and when we get to our pros, I will have a counter argument for that.
Oh, okay, spicy. I think I found this film a little heavy-handed, and I think this falls into the category of maybe for the time it was original, and then maybe since then there's been some things that have had the same tone that have kind of been in the same category that maybe has oversaturated me as a viewer, and then when I go back to this, I go, oh, I've seen this enough, but regardless, I found it a little heavy-handed when I watched this film from beginning to end. Just scenes, and this is an example, but like scenes where they're at the Harvard bar and there's the kind of preppy jerk who's like really going out of his way to show how smart he is, and then Matt Damon really goes out of the way to impress the girls by kind of retorting and saying like academia knowledge of things to kind of counter this guy. And I like, it's interesting and it shows how smart our character is. I get it, but on the other hand, it seemed a bit lame. Like it didn't seem very realistic. Like it seemed in the real world, even at a preppy Harvard bar, when people are a few drinks deep, I'm not sure if they're going to be getting heavy into this or they're just going to be calling each other swear names and like pushing and shoving a bit and like hitting on girls. I could be wrong.
Oh, I don't know. Pretentious MIT students? I don't know.
I like, listen, I could be wrong. I didn't go to an Ivy League school. I've never been to a Harvard bar. So maybe there's a touch of realism. Like maybe this is based on an actual story that like the Matt Damon witnessed when he went to Harvard. I don't know. But when I watched it, it just seemed a bit heavy-handed. Or even like Will's character flaw about like not wanting to take the first step and being afraid to commit and not wanting to open up, which is very real. Like that's a very real human condition and experience, and I get that, but just it's felt a little drawn out. Like from beginning to the end of the film, I'm like, okay, I get it. We all understand what his flaw is. You don't need to slap us across the face of it. Like I'm kind of getting tired of it. As a story progression, I kind of want to move past that and move on from it. And obviously they do, but it like I could have done without maybe another 15 or 20 minutes of that character flaw. It felt like it had accomplished its point. So just different things like that where I felt it was maybe a little heavy-handed, and it was probably more original at the time. But since then, maybe we've seen other material that made me go, okay, I've had enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You were talking about certain moments being like oversaturated, and that scene in the bar that you're talking about, reminded me. It felt like it gave me really strong vibes of Robert Downey Jr. in The Judge.
What? Where? When?
In a bar. He has this kind of like there's some they're like drunk hicks that are gonna and he's like spewing state law or something.
Sure.
Right. But it was very similar.
Interesting
very
connection.
Similar. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What is your next point?
My next con is really maybe my only other serious con.
Sure.
And it's because it's a big one, I think.
Okay.
They introduce a really interesting concept. In that you have this genius custodian who is solving these problems at night and is quote unquote wasting his potential.
Sure.
And I don't feel like they take it far enough. Because like all of a sudden they start trying to get him to like not waste his potential.
Yep.
And I just think it would have been interesting. Like, you know, ultimately we don't want him to achieve the potential that Stellan Skarsgård's character wants him to achieve, because the moral of the movie is that you don't need to. Mm-hmm. That just because you have this gift doesn't mean that you owe it to the world to apply it in, in XYZ slots type of thing. That he finds, and now he some of this is BS and he has to come to terms with that, but like he does find, it physical going out there and slaving work is honorable work.
Oh yeah.
It's honorable work. And just because he's got these smarts doesn't mean that he needs to work for the government or some massive corporation and be a sellout to whatever. He doesn't need to go for the money. But I just don't think they take it far enough. And I think I would have liked to see, the furthest he gets pushed is he goes to a couple of interviews and he sits in a room with what's his face a couple of times and solves some issues, solves some math problems and writes some formulas and whatever.
Yep.
But I think I would have liked to have seen him become more of the monkey in the traveling circus type of thing, where he... Does that make sense? Like, he doesn't... He never really is put in a position where I'm truly believing the fact that he's miserable in this pursuit, in this forced on him pursuit of academia. Right? Where he like I would have almost liked to have seen him end up in one of these jobs working for the government.
Okay. Yep.
And then hating it.
Right. Finding out for himself that he hates it.
I think it would have just created bigger conflict.
Sure. Versus everyone telling him, like, you will be upset, or, Robin Williams saying, don't force this upon him, letting him find out for himself. Okay.
Yeah. So I think for me, it's the movie is a bunch of, like, really interesting concepts stitched together, sort of Frankenstein together. But at times feels to me like it's lacking coherency, like, or like a real strong sense of what the story is. Because it kind of starts setting all of this stuff up. Like he's solving these problems at night. Maybe I would have liked that mystery to have gone on a little longer, because that's a fun dynamic.
Yeah, that's true.
And so there's that stuff, and then... and we kind of only get a little bit of that. And then there's his romance, but we kind of only get a little bit of that. And then there's the stuff with him in therapy, but we like you said, we don't get a lot of that. And then we get, and it's just like, by the time we're in the third act of the film, I'm like, man, nothing really ever came of the fact that he was a janitor solving these mysteries at night. And like, yes, it led to where we are, but we just kind of move so fast. We just kind of like, I feel like maybe the movie tries to cover too much ground in the 2 hours and 20 minutes that it is,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard for me to put my finger on it, and I'm realizing that now that I'm, trying to put it in words.
Yeah.
But it does a lot of things well, but it does too many things well. And so so many of the plot points in this movie, I feel like don't have enough room to breathe and develop enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to piggyback on this before I go on my next point. I think there's some interesting things, because I feel like I feel like everyone has heard this kind of, it's like kind of like with great power comes great responsibility, just in a different flavor, where that's being jammed down Matt Damon's neck for the majority of this film, where it's like, you have this special gift, you owe it to the world, not just to get a desk job with the government, but to do great things and maybe sacrifice other happinesses. Like, you owe it to the world. And so I think, like maybe there was a bit too much time spent on that. And I thought it was an interesting spin on that. Like, it's kind of similar, But when Ben Affleck says, you know what, you don't owe it to the world in general, you owe it to me to do something special because this is who I am. I'm working here every day, but you have a chance. Everyone would cut their arm off to have the chance that you have. So you better damn well use it. And so I thought that was a bit of a different spin. I guess it's essentially the same thing. Like both are propelling someone into something where they might not be happy, but it's your obligation to society. And so either of those, I thought one was a little bit more of a unique take, but a similar spins. And then you've got the Robin Williams spin where it's like, you know what? You have a gift, but find your balance of, what are you happy with? You got to find your balance of maybe doing something productive with it, but not necessarily selling out and losing every happiness in life just to become the next Einstein or being someone famous. And, I don't know if I have a problem like you do, but I definitely see that of the three things that I kind of paid attention to that I just described, most of the movie was dedicated to kind of the cliche one. But
yeah,
it is what it is. This is very nitpicky, my next point. The romantic chemistry of Skylar and Matt Damon, I had a problem with. It just really didn't jump off the screen for me. It felt pretty forced at times. And, of what we saw, like, she wants him to move out to Berkeley with him, and he kind of wants to call her back, or he kind of wants to, and he doesn't at first because of his, his flaw of not wanting to open up. But it just... I guess just from what we've seen, like all we see is the occasional, like her going out and laughing and having a couple beers, and nothing really kind of convinced me. Like I've been more convinced in The Notebook of romantic relationships that I'm like, these people belong to each other, and like just silly things in Hollywood and cinema that I'm more convinced than I was with these two. And I don't know if it's the actor who played Skylar. I'm not sure if it's Matt Damon's fault acting, or I'm not sure if it's the way it was what we were shown from screenplay perspective. I'm not sure, but just at the end product, I just wasn't really convinced with.
Yeah, which again, I mean, it's hard to say, right? It's like it was a romance in a film that is not a romance film.
Sure. Yep.
And so it's like, at times it feels shoehorned in.
Sure.
It feels like it's there
Yeah.
as a necessary plot point to give Matt Damon's character one more thing.
Right. One more wrinkle.
Yeah. Yeah. I also don't know, like, I think it would be fair to assume that sometime in the year or two after he moves out to be with her, that they break up.
It's very possible.
And that it's not so much about him getting the girl, but it's more about him taking that action.
Yep. 100%. Yep.
Breaking free of Brooklyn.
For sure. Or
and
of Providence or Boston or wherever he was living.
Boston. Yeah, Boston, not Brooklyn.
But the chance, giving the fact that he opened up and gave it a chance, whether it works or not, is...
Yeah, and that's, just that he left.
Yep.
That he left. And that he's going to chase after something that he wants. That's more of, I think, the point of that.
Sure. Yep. No, that's fair. Do you have any more cons to add?
No, I mean, not really. I mean,
yeah.
Here and there, but nothing that is worthy enough to make a cons list.
Sure. I have two things to quickly skim over. Danny Elfman alert. I know this probably raised your antennas.
Hardly, though.
I didn't have a problem with this soundtrack, but it definitely wasn't an amazing soundtrack. So,
but it also wasn't an amazing Danny Elfman soundtrack. Like,
no.
Where, like, give me something. Not everything he does needs to be spooky. But even the stuff that he does that isn't spooky is like otherworldly. And this just wasn't. Like, there were moments where I was like, oh, this could be like who's the guy that did stuff like, hang on, let me look it up here.
Yeah, for sure.
He's the guy that you would picture having done like Beethoven and Dennis the Menace and like Not Home Alone, because we know who Home Alone is.
Right.
Like, you know, the same kind of, like, you know, maybe did a lot of John Hughes type of.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay.
Who did Beethoven? Because Beethoven is a John Hughes.
Is it?
Written by, anyways. Yeah. Randy Elderman. What the hell? What else did Randy Elderman do? Triple X, Dragonheart, Beethoven 2. Okay, well, that was a poor example, but
Sure. Well,
it didn't stick out to me as like, I think most of the time. Okay, yeah, like Kindergarten Cop and Shanghai Noon and Ghostbusters 2 and The Mask and you know.
sure.
And so it didn't stick out to me as something that I could pick out as being Danny Elfman, and that's something that I would typically pride myself on. And so yeah, it felt like it lacked, you know.
Yeah.
It'd be like if AC/DC released a country album tomorrow,
Sure.
and you'd be like, okay, well, I guess that's them,
Right.
But you know.
My last thing is more of a rhetorical question, and it's the relationship I talked about didn't jump off the page with me. It makes me wonder, are Matt Damon and Ben Affleck good actors? And I think I can say with confidence that I think I like Ben Affleck's acting because I've seen him in more things recently. But I don't know if I've watched a lot of Matt Damon in the recent past to definitively say, oh, of course, he's an excellent actor. You know,
The Martian?
Yeah, I've seen it, but it's been a while. Listen, listen. Okay, I think, how will I phrase this? I guess I'll say film is subjective, so I may go back on this after I rewatch some of Matt Damon's films again with a modern day lens just to determine. But this film has cracked the door open for me to wonder, is he a great actor? And now I'm going to watch him very critically in everything I watch in the near future. So I guess it's not
Private Ryan?
Yeah, but he's not even the main protagonist. He's in like the last quarter of the film. He's in some great films. The films you're listing off are good films. I'm curious. I'm not going to say hot take. He's not a good actor, but this film.
We Bought a Zoo.
Yeah, again, I've seen it, but it's been a long time, man. I need to rewatch.
I'll stop listing things.
No, these are all good films. Like, these are all films I need to watch again. And maybe after I watch one, I'll go, oh no, it was a blip. Never mind, I'm fine. But I'm curious.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
The first movie I ever saw Matt Damon in was a comedy called Stuck on You, where he's like he's a conjoined twin with what's his name? What's that actor's name? Hang on, I have it right
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Is it Greg something? Greg Kiner? Greg Kiner? Who was it? Greg Kiner just in something that we watched?
Don't think
he's in As Good as It Gets. Oh, I think we were talking about As Good as It Gets.
Right. Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah, I think so.
Because he plays the gay neighbor in As Good as It Gets.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that was the first thing I ever saw him in. So then when I discovered that he was like actually a serious actor, I was like, oh.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
And that came out in 2003, and I'm guessing when I saw that movie, it was like no later than like 2005, 2006.
Sure.
So it was like a long time ago. We're talking.
Yeah.
That's gross, but yeah,
that is
a long time ago.
Okay, I definitely need to rewatch some of these films. I saw him in the Bourne series when that was my first introduction to him, and since then
right.
I
think that's a lot of people's first introduction to him.
Yeah, and like I think since then my tastes have changed, but I am looking. There's a lot of notable stuff here. You said like the Ocean's trilogy, Saving Private Ryan, The Departed, Ford versus Ferrari. He has a bit of a brief moment in Interstellar. So I mean, I guess I guess I'm not like I said, I'm not confident enough to say I'm questioning his acting ability, but I'm on the lookout.
That's fair.
Yeah. some pros for me, and we can go back and forth if you like. Mine are all. I forgot Stellan Skarsgård was in this, to be honest with you. So I appreciated
So
that.
did Stellan Skarsgård.
I did appreciate that.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, he's a straight up force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's a bit of a sleazy professor, but hey, other than that.
But it also made me think of, like, it makes me think of, like, him in the MCU. And I'm like, it just reminds me that there's a Stellan Skarsgård prior to him,
Right.
like, running around in his underwear.
It's, I don't, maybe a bad comparison, but it's like a parent that you're like, and then you find a picture of them from like a party they went to when they were a teenager, and you're like, oh, my parent had a life before this.
Right,
And
my
it's
mom
kinda
was
like-
hot.
I don't know about that, but it's kind of like this with Skarsgård, where it's like, oh, like he had a career before the MCU.
Are you saying you doubt that my mom was hot?
I'm not commenting either way.
Because I said my mom was hot, and you said, I don't know about that.
I just think it's weird that you said it.
I can acknowledge that my mom was hot.
I guess so. You could.
Good for her.
I'm not saying your mom. I'm just.
You know, like someday, way down the road, do you
Yes.
hope that you have like a 16, 17-year-old son that is like flipping through your old yearbook going, damn, Dad, you had it going on.
Oh man, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, who would have thought we'd be talking about that and Ben's parenting?
This has been a parenting
skills.
show today. It's
Yeah,
been,
it really has.
Yeah, parents and children. Yeah.
Okay, so I have got two pros, and they're both the commonality between them, and we can go back and forth here. They are related to Robin Williams in this film. He is the lifeblood that just anytime he was in a scene just enriched it, and they're my walk away favorite moments of him. So there are two of them. I'll share one, and then I'll let you. We'll go back and forth here.
Okay.
This is cliche. I think everyone loves it, but the park bench scene, just a lot of stuff goes down where he talks about, you know, does Oliver Twist encapsulate you, Matt Damon, just because you have similar experiences? No, of course not. You may know love, you may know war, you may know art, you may know these things intellectually, but not emotionally, and that's your character flaw. Like, you really need to open up, you really need to go beyond just closing yourself off, but only opening to a certain degree. So that scene is incredible.
You may know everything about Michelangelo, and you may have seen the Sistine Chapel in books and read everything about it, but can you tell me what it smells like?
Yeah, what does it smell like? Yeah, I love. Yeah. Again, I think this is a hot take. I said at the beginning, I will put this on my gravestone. The Robin Williams, every scene with him in this film is spectacular, and this is one of them. This is one of the ones that people watch out of context of the film and just watch it by itself and say, "Wow, excellent scene, excellent moments." That's one of my pros. Just incredibly done, written and improvised. I'm sure on Robin Williams' end.
Right.
To a degree.
Oh, agreed. Yep.
What say you? Do you have anything to counter? Anything to put forward?
Well, I will. Yeah, my last one's a big one. So I will start by countering your tracksuit comment.
Oh, yeah.
I think that it's not specifically the tracksuit, but I will say that I feel like this movie does a really good job of showing me a culture that I am otherwise unfamiliar and ignorant to, which would be like a southern Boston.
Right.
You know, I don't know if it's like, I don't know what you call the area they're in, the projects, kind of, you know?
Yeah.
They're pretty excited. They're pretty excited about a pretty shitty car.
That was the worst car I've ever seen.
In a rough, like, welfare kind of
sure
housing setup.
Yep.
Probably a lot of crime goes along.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
A lot of drugs happening.
A lot of, I'm sure there's a body that floats up here and there.
Yeah. But yeah. And so I just like, I don't know. I looked at it and I was like, but yeah, he's got this ridiculous tracksuit and his hair's kind of, he's doing a whooshy thing, but he's from Boston. Like, right. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know Boston, but I know that Boston, and if you're from Boston, and apparently specifically South Boston, if you're a Southie, they have a strong sense of identity. They have a strong community.
Yep.
And I feel like this film did a really good job of showing me that and serving as a window into a world that I otherwise would be entirely uneducated of. So that's one of my pros.
That's cool.
A pretty small pro, but I think serves as a semi-adequate retort to your tracksuit.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll take it.
Stab that you made. Derogatory statement.
I don't regret it. My other pro, and this is where I'll leave it on, I love the office counseling scene that I got to see about a girl. That scene still gives me goosebumps. I watch it on occasion, just where Robin Williams talks about how he slept outside all night to get the tickets, recounts, and there's flashes to this famous Red Sox lore of like the bottom of the 12th, and he kind of runs through everything that happened, and then when
which must be, I mean, you're a big baseball guy. Mm-hmm. You're a big baseball guy. And we've never talked about this. 179 episodes, we've never talked about your affiliation with baseball.
Right.
And I think that's because I don't fully know it.
Right.
Like, I'll see you send out tweets, and they're all either retweeting stuff from the Movie Men page or getting a little worked up over baseball. And I'll tell you right now, I don't I played T-ball as a whippersnapper.
Sure.
Not well.
It's a hard sport.
My dad, as a, trying to reconcile the fact that he's made zero connections with his 15-year-old son and got tickets through work. He worked he worked for like a cable company, but it was like a bigger, like a bougie it wasn't a cable company. It was like a telecommunications company.
Right.
And so there were like big, they like take you wine and dine your client type of thing.
Nice.
Whatever. And you'd get like company tickets. And so I was like 5 or 6 rows up behind the Jays dugout at what I will only refer to as the Sky Dome.
Right. As it should.
For a Jays game.
Right.
And I can't tell you who they were playing. I can't tell you who won.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I know nothing about baseball, with the exception of the two things that I mentioned and the fact that, and maybe you're the tree that I need to be barking up here. About 5 years ago, I made a solid attempt. It was summer, and pretty much all summer long, I made a really solid attempt.
Wow.
I tracked down a glove.
Oh, wow.
I tracked down a ball.
Nice.
I tracked down a bat. And I wanted nothing more than, I don't know how many you need, but I wanted nothing more than to track down like 10 people.
Wow.
Who also had a glove, and maybe, we'll get 1 or 2 more balls and 1 or 2 more bats.
Sure.
And a helmet or 2. Who knows?
Maybe a hockey puck.
And I just wanted to go to like one of the town's ball diamonds.
Interesting.
And just have an afternoon, like just, we'll go at noon, go at 1 p.m. and we'll play till 5. And I just wanted to go have like a day of baseball. just friends.
Interesting.
Nothing, none of this like, none of the little extra intricate, like I don't know if there's like, you're playing like hockey and you just want to play hockey with your friends and
Right.
and you're not messing around with like offside and shit like that.
Oh,
You're
sure.
Just, you're just playing hockey.
You're there,
Right?
to play.
Yeah, and so and just that kind of like family reunion, small town style game of baseball.
Right.
And I wanted to do that so bad. So bad. And I couldn't rope people together. I couldn't make it happen.
Interesting.
And maybe you've got a cooler full of pop and someone's got, and maybe like at some point you get someone who's got like a little Coleman whatever, and you get some hot dogs going for dinner, and you like who knows. But and it is like it's kind of funny, but also like what a great afternoon that would be.
That does sound nice. I mean,
A Saturday
there's like
afternoon?
a couple feet of snow out right now, so I mean that sounds.
Well, yeah.
What you're describing sounds amazing. Alternatively,
Yeah. But like I think that would be an absolute blast. Because I want to play baseball. I haven't played baseball since I was a kid. And I don't want to play baseball enough to like join something.
Of course, you just want a day out, a day.
I just want a day. I want to
Just to
swing
soak
at
it
the
in.
ball, and I want
Yes.
to try to steal third, and I want to, I want to do some of those things
Right.
that is hard to just do. Right? If I have a hankering for bowling, I'll just go.
Right.
I'll just freaking go bowling.
Sure.
If I've got connections, I can play volleyball just about any time I want. And so that's nice because not everybody's got that.
No.
I can play volleyball just about any time I want. Soccer is, soccer, you kind of like kick it around with
you just
people.
need a
You can
pile
kind
of grass and a ball. Yeah.
Yes, soccer, yeah, you need like maybe some sticks, a ball, and you and three others, maybe two people
Sure.
per team, and you can kind of get a half-assed game of soccer going.
Yeah.
But baseball is just one of those, like you need infielders and outfielders, and you need, well, not even. This is what I would say you would need. I think you need 5 to 6 people per team for a whatever game. How many are typically on a team in baseball?
9 if you include the pitcher.
Okay. Oh, right, the pitcher. Okay. 6, and then you need what? I don't think, okay, yeah, 5 to 6, maybe 7.
Sure.
Because you're going to have a
make do.
pitcher.
Yep.
Yeah. You're going to have a pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have 3 basemen
Yep.
and 2 to 3 guys out in the field. I don't
Sure.
think you need a back catcher.
Oh,
I don't
no.
think you need any of that crap. You don't need an umpire. You don't need any of that. Right? And then
Just
that's
unnecessary.
perfect. And then the other team is just batting.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I want to make it happen. Anyways. Maybe we'll have like a movie men league. We'll get jerseys done up. Are they called jerseys? No. What are
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
they? Yeah,
of
are
course.
they? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. In
No,
baseball,
yeah, yeah.
It's like a bowling shirt. It's not your bowling
Oh,
jersey.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
No jerseys. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. But reason we started talking about baseball. Robin Williams describes that, and it is a true event. I'm not up to date on Red Sox lore, but it is a true thing. It did happen, so it wasn't, fictional. But Robin Williams spent all this effort to get these tickets, sleeping outside, stayed for talking about the whole game, making us think that he stayed for the whole game. And when Matt Damon says, "Did you rush the field when the Red Sox won? Like, where were you?" And he says, "No, I wasn't there." And Matt Damon says, "You missed the game. You missed the game to see a girl that you hadn't met." And Robin Williams says, "Yeah, but you should have seen her. She was a stunner." And when he just talks about how he slid the ticket across the table to his friends and said, "Sorry guys, I got to see about a girl," just magical. And he goes into talking about loss and not having regret and all the different trials that he went through, but just the magical moment of how he met this woman and how special she was to him. Just a magical scene to me, and that held
Also,
up.
to his credit, he says, I also didn't know that it was going to be a legendary game.
Yeah, it's very,
Like,
very.
I also, to be
That's the
fair,
trouble.
I also didn't realize it was going to be.
Which is the problem with sports, in a nutshell. Because like, if you say
That's not the only issue, but
but if you say Green Day is not my thing. But if you insert Green Day as an example and say, hey, Brady, I've got these insane good tickets at Green Day for this concert. They're $1,000 each, though. Should we go? And,
Yes.
you never know exactly what you're going to get, but you can say, okay, I like Green Day.
no, you do.
Well, but to a degree, you know what I mean? Like, you never know. Maybe they have a bit of food poisoning that day, so it's not their best concert. But to a
Yeah,
nutshell,
whatever.
you're going to get an experience. You like the band. You know the product. It's a
Yep.
pretty safe bet to say, okay, I personally want to spend $1,000 on this. Let's do it.
Yeah.
With a sporting
Which
event,
I've come close to doing.
sure. And like you alluded to, I'm a huge baseball fan, and there's moments in teams' histories that I follow that if someone said, would you pay $1,000 in hindsight, knowing what happens in that game, I'd go, of course I would. But
Right. Do you
It's-
buy seasons tickets?
I do not. I live too far away, and I think I would someday. But
Like, what is the average price? Like, if you were going to head to Toronto for the day and just see a Jays game.
I think for the day you could. Actually, I don't know. That was pre-pandemic. Pre-pandemic, I think you could go with a couple people, and you could get like some nosebleeders tickets, and maybe go for like 20 or 30 a piece. Maybe, I don't know.
Bucks?
Yeah, I think so. Not
Oh, that's
including
nothing.
travel, commute, or if you want any drinks. I'm totally spitballing. This is 3
overpriced
years
beer
ago.
and
Yeah,
hot
if you,
dogs
it's
and-
like $100 if you want a glass of beer.
Can we do that?
You'd want to go to a Jays game.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
But just because it's
course.
like, it's like it's the same as, I'm happy going to Super Bowl parties.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
give two shits about football. I really don't. But there's an energy, and there's the team
Right.
spirit, and there's the food, and there's whatever. So yeah,
Right.
like to go and sit in a stadium and see the game happen and hear the crowd cheer and spend the day with you. Yeah, for $20-$30, absolutely. I was thinking you were going to say $100, and I was still down. I was
mean,
still like, oh, okay.
I
yeah,
haven't
we'll make
looked
it
since
happen.
post-pandemic. So actually, I know during the pandemic, this is getting in a rabbit hole. The point is, I'm sure we could find reasonable tickets this coming
Here
summer.
here in Ontario, it's going to cost you $300 to drive to Toronto for the day.
Oh my
in gas.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, I
that's
think a
whole
lot of
other-
places too.
Yeah.
But my point is, with
so-
sporting events, you never know what you're going to get. So you could drop $1,000 and literally it's the worst event of life, or it's something good. So I guess I don't really have a point with that, but maybe if you're looking at investing at a good time, go for the concert.
Yeah. Okay.
Just in general.
yeah. We should talk about the movie.
Yeah.
Hopefully if you're listening to this episode, you care less about Good Will Hunting, and you're one of the people who just enjoy us and our
Yeah.
banter. 'Cause
Maybe
that's-
the listener is goodwill hunting and just wanting to listen to our goodwill.
that was rough. That was rough. My pro.
Yeah.
My pro would be like, you know what? I would say I typically don't consider myself to be much of an authority on Oscars.
Sure.
9 times out of 10, actually pretty much 10 times out of 10, I haven't seen all of the movies in the Best Picture category.
Sure.
I'm not, I have opinions, and I think it's fascinating to look at it all and discuss it.
Yep.
And it gives me an idea of like, okay, well, what movies from this year have I missed, and should I maybe put on my short list?
Yeah.
But I'm not, whatever. However, the 2 Oscars that this film won, this is a unique film because I'm like, well, Robin Williams, absolutely.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what he's in. Give the Oscar to Robin Williams.
For sure.
But the writing, I think the dialogue in this movie is its biggest pro.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Yeah.
think the writing, the messages in this movie, the lines, the one-liners, the takeaways, and it's everything from I think one of the greatest speeches, one of the greatest monologues in any movie ever could be in this film, and it's Robin Williams talking about the idiosyncrasies of his wife.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
That the little imperfections, right? He's talking about the little imperfections, the weird things.
Yep.
And he says, "Oh, but that's the good stuff." Right? And those were the things, knowing those things were the things that made her my wife. And we get to choose who we let into our little world, weird little world. And so that's such a powerful line and moment, not line, but like moment and message. So that's powerful. The monologue that Matt Damon does when he's explaining to the government, to the G-men, why he doesn't want to be a code breaker. That's cool. And not a powerful moment really, but it's like,
Oh no.
like,
Yeah.
that is some good writing there.
Right.
But I think this movie, and again, it's one of the cons because it's like, it's a pro because they set up a lot of really good concepts and they set up a lot of like really interesting messages and powerful morals. And then they don't ever spend enough time, I feel like, really driving any of those home. And one of them that this film does is the notion that, you know, I love the moment and it translates so well. It's a little bit different now with the proliferation of the internet.
Oh yeah.
But there's this line where Matt Damon basically, and I'm paraphrasing.
Oh yeah.
But he basically says, in a couple of years, you're going to feel like a real jackass when you find out that there's nothing that your tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of education taught you that you couldn't have learned from some book. And now it's the internet. It's YouTube.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But the idea is the same. And it's something I was talking about actually today with some friends, where one of my friends is in the same program but a different pathway as me.
Neat.
And part of they're doing a lot of production stuff, and part of that has been learning the software Pro Tools.
Oh.
And I said, I can't imagine paying for a college class to learn how to use a piece of software when, with the right kind of self-motivation and a day and a half in YouTube, I can learn 10 times more than I'm going to learn in this class from people who know how to use the software better than the professor teaching this program.
Right.
Right? Like with the people who make a living using this software and use
Right.
it day in and day out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can get that for free.
Right.
And there's something interesting. So the academic dick in the bar that Matt Damon tears apart talks about, like, you know, he says his retort is, yeah, but I'll have a degree. And that was something we were talking about today. What is the difference between a degree and knowledge? Piece of paper.
Yeah.
Piece of paper. It's not experience. It's not knowledge. It's not skill or ability that matters at the end of the day a lot of the time. You can be the best at it.
Right.
Or you can be kind of okay with it and have the piece of paper.
Right. Yeah. The limitations of the system we have, right?
Oh, and it's nuts. And so we were talking about it today, and we were like, hey, you know, there needs to be a middle ground. There needs to be like one step up from YouTube, but like a major step down from college or university. Where like, hey, this is a skill that I can learn from a masterclass. And I will take a test afterwards.
Yep.
I will create a piece of content or cook a dish or, you know, I will do whatever and submit it to show my ability to use the skills that I'm trying to learn. And then I need I need to be credentialed for that.
Right.
Because to spend, like, really, to spend tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of dollars on 2, 3, 4, 5 years of school. Now, there's some things, you know, like if you're going to be a surgeon, no, I want you in a, you know, in a thing, doing the thing.
Right.
But for a lot of stuff, man, real
Yeah,
estate agents, you have to pay to do schooling to be a real estate agent.
Sure.
Holy shit, man. Like, give someone $50 and 2 days worth of YouTube videos, and then have them write a test and call it a day.
It's
like, honestly,
it's not a perfect system, right? And I mean, you have people doing things for not the right reasons as well. And, you know, I think you have people who want to have some training and want to enrich themselves, but then we live in a system where there's also people who just want to do it to get the piece of paper because that's what's required of them to move on to the next step. And I mean, it's yeah, I hear you. It's hard. It's like, you know, there's all these regulations in place for a reason, and then at some point we lost to some degree, in some circumstances, we lost the point of, like, this is no longer just enriching on the individual level. It's just a system that supports research or supports standardizing some type of accomplishment. But at the end, you know, maybe we're on an individual point, we're missing the point, right? We're not actually just doing something for enriching sake, or, you know, we're not doing the most enriching thing. It's more just what can we put into a category that gets someone a piece of paper. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. A classmate of mine and I were looking up to see if we could track down the salaries of our professors. and we found one. And last year, this professor, who only works for the school that I attend,
sure,
doesn't have any other jobs, is a professor and does a little bit of work on the campus radio station.
Nice.
Right, like runs he's the station manager for the station. But I think there's, like, I don't know how much work is really super involved in that. And last year he made $135,000.
Nothing to sneeze at.
And that's what I'm paying for.
Right.
At what point am I paying for an education versus paying for someone to get their driveway redone? Right. You know, and it's anyways, Good Will Hunting. That is my list. That is what I have to say.
Cool. You know what?
I don't know if you have anything else.
No, I think just in summary, there's a lot of stuff that is gold, like rich, perfect, that is aged well. And then there's some things that are, you know, I don't enjoy or appreciate as much as maybe people who watched it at the time. And I think overall, from beginning to end, maybe not the best movie I've ever seen, but definitely have some moments that are worth rewatching, sharing with someone, saying, hey, check out this scene again. If you haven't watched it in a while, it's magic.
Yeah. I don't disagree. Yeah. Despite what I said going in, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Cool. 0 to 10, sir. Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting. I gave it a 6 out of 10. You know what? I was critical of it, so I didn't give it a horrible score, but I'm not praising it. I'm not giving it an excellent score. So a 6 out of 10. On my scale, it's perfectly where it is. If I could watch it on Netflix, which it was on Netflix, if it's on a streaming site I owned already, that's perfect. I do not need to see it in theaters. I do not need to pay premium access to gain access to it. If it's on something that I own already, it's worth a view once in a while.
This does not make a good theater.
You'd get a
outing.
real good view of that tracksuit, though, so that'd be worth it.
Maybe see it in the drive-in.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Would you give it out of 10?
I give it a 6.8 out
Okay.
of 10.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it's talked about too much.
Okay.
You know,
Yep.
like, I think it's good, but I think I could sit and list 50 films that are better.
Sure.
Realistically,
Yeah.
you know, like if I were to sit and rank every film I've ever seen,
Sure.
I don't know that it would crack the top 50.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it's great. I think it's got a strong cast. There's some incredible moments. There's some stuff that is a little jarring, pulls me out, and I wish that they focused a little bit more on certain aspects of it. But definitely, if you haven't seen Good Will Hunting, you should.
Of course.
That's something you need to stroke off your list.
Absolutely. I would agree. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What'd you watch this week, sir?
I think the only thing... Oh, no, I watched some more Star Wars. So, okay. I watched continuing my journey of Star Wars where I go 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. I believe last time I had finished off with Revenge of the Sith and was
think
then
so.
going on to Return of the Jedi. So I watched...
You are my brother, Anakin.
I
Loved
watched
you.
Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens, and The Last Jedi. So I still
sorry.
have one more to go. It's again, this is fun. It's fun to watch all these films again. I have to say, Last Jedi wasn't as bad as I remembered it. It's definitely not good. Spoiler
Yeah.
alert,
When
it's
Luke-
probably my least
When
favorite.
Luke starts to milk that giant monster,
I
you
mean,
find
listen,
your
there's
mouth
awful,
start to water.
there's awful moments, but there are some good moments, like the throne room scene with Snoke and Kylo
That's cool.
Ren.
When he
Like,
gets
it's-
cut in half.
Yeah, visually, this the color tone in that scene,
and
I
the fire,
love.
the red curtains catch fire.
Yes, and just the
Yeah, that's
choreography of the fight scene, like that on itself. There's moments like that are good. There's moments that are awful, like you said, that are bad. So it's not a great film, but I didn't hate it as much when I watched it this time. Is my point. So
I do really like the moment right after the they've murdered everyone in the throne room fight and
murdered
Kylo-
seems.
no, it's murder. And
There was a
Kylo Ren,
fight. What are they supposed to do?
Kylo murders Snoke.
Yeah,
That's
fair.
not a fight. That was murder.
100%. But the guards, it was a fight.
Yeah.
And you know what? If
Um,
you're the supreme leader and you suck and you get owned like that, I mean, yeah, it's murder, but come on.
Name someone who has the title Supreme Leader who doesn't suck.
That's fair, actually.
You've got to be one hell of a dick to have the title Supreme Leader.
Yeah,
Supreme Overlord.
that's the Lord.
So, but they've mercilessly slaughtered everyone in that fight, and we realize Kylo, very much in a "the ring is mine, Sam" kind of moment. Kylo is like, join me,
Yep.
and
Yep.
let's
do this
let's
thing.
be on the dark side. Yeah. And there's this beautiful shallow depth of field kind of shot of Rey's face with tears in her eyes.
Mm.
And she just says, "Don't do this."
Yeah.
And it's such a good moment because she, like, Daisy Ridley's acting in that moment is incredible. It sells you. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like, yeah, she's heartbroken and she is dreading the conflict that she knows is imminent, and she's hopeful, but she's hopeful, but she also knows that there's
Yep.
no hope.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool.
I think the only other thing I watched then was I started the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man film, so I'm also rewatching
Oh.
that series.
buddy.
Watched the first 2 Tom Hollands, then the 3 Tobey Maguires, and then I'm watching the Andrew Garfields. Then I'm watching the most recent Spider-Man. So I watched, the 2012 The Amazing Spider-Man.
Talk to me. Okay. This is already a long episode, but
Yeah.
I really don't give a shit. It's our podcast. Everyone can piss off. Talk to me
Yeah.
about the romance between Gwen and Peter.
Okay, so I don't dislike it, obviously.
Okay.
Love both actors. I'm not convinced by it.
You're wrong.
There are moments where I'm like, oh, okay, like it's not the best romance, but there's the occasional seed where I need to see the next film before I'm convinced one way or the other. And, there's different moments where Andrew Garfield will say something and then Emma Stone will kind of give a little grin afterwards. And, that's actually the closing scene of the film. And, there's little moments where they kind of have this kind of chemistry where I'm like, okay, laying some groundwork. If there's more of this, I'm open to this. I'm not at the point where I'm ready to crown them like you are as the best MJ Peter romance on screen. But
Love the moment when he reveals himself to her on the roof.
I did laugh at that. I
That's
did.
so good.
I did laugh at that. I have to admit.
Talk to me about Martin Sheen as Uncle Ben.
He's okay.
Talk to me about Sally Field as Aunt May.
She's okay.
What? Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, no, I don't dislike them, but I don't think...
And like scenes like him figuring out making his web, like the montage of him making his web shooter.
Sure, but then...
The moment when he first gets his powers and the rock music starts and he just smashes his alarm clock.
Right.
Did that make you laugh?
There were moments that I did laugh.
Yeah.
Listen, this is going to burst your bubble. I gave the film a 5 out of 10.
Oh my God. Okay, what about even with the mystery of like even this like great subplot of like Peter's parents?
Yeah. I think I wanted a bit more clearly defined by me with this whole mystery. Like, I think I was second guessing parts of this mystery that ended up like Peter, you're over analyzing it. That's not supposed to be part of the mystery. And, and then because that wasn't answered, then I wanted to know more.
Okay, final question. Did seeing this version of Peter and sort of his origin and, the beginnings of his relationship with Gwen and then his conflict with Kurt Connors, did that interest you in rewatching to any extent and or shed any kind of new light on No Way Home?
To a degree.
Like now you know who the lizard is.
I think, like some of this I had ideas before. I think I really need to watch the next one to really get the full spectrum of preparing me
Right. Okay.
for the Andrew Garfield. I gave it a 5 out of 10 because it had equal things. There's things that you mentioned that I did enjoy. There's things that I watched that I went, I could have done without. So it was really split down the middle for me. I think I'm still having trouble getting past the Peter Parker but dressed as like a popular kid and skateboarding and like just having some elements that I'm like, oh, that's not how I usually picture Peter Parker. So there's some things that I just, I didn't really enjoy, or like some of the
But he's still a loner.
A little bit, but
Like he doesn't have any friends.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. Some of the mystery, I do like there's an origin. In the Tom Holland, we just skip right over that, or we don't get it as in much detail. So there's things that are good about this, but I'm skeptical at first. I need to watch the second one to come up with the decision on how much I like Andrew Garfield here.
Okay, final question.
Yeah, of course.
His reaction versus Tobey Maguire's to the Uncle Ben death. Like his acting in that moment.
This will upset you.
Oh my gosh.
I don't remember it. I was really upset with how it went down in this movie. Like, it seemed that the way Uncle Ben died was completely unnecessary. That I think I had more issue with that going, Ben, how it's your own fault for getting shot in this scene that more than appreciating the drama of what went down.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
No, I could tell you. I've broken your heart. I am so sorry.
No, you're not. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. What did you watch this week?
A great many things. A great many things. I watched. Trying to go back. I watched the first episode of Peacemaker, which is the HBO spinoff, John Cena spinoff series to the Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Very funny. Very good. I watched the second Final Destination, which is the Final Destination that is famous for making people ever wary of driving behind a logging truck on the highway. Very good. Good in a stupid, tacky, you know what you're signing up for when you sit down to watch it kind of way.
Sure.
I watched, so I was at the farm last week, which explains kind of the weird, it explains why last week's episode was so late and why this episode's coming out at a weird time. Like it was, you know, I didn't have internet. I was like, I could use my data to try to upload things. But I don't, you know, anyways.
Yeah.
But I needed it. It was my reading week. And I was like, you know, so anyways, at the farm, we always try to like knock out a series. We'll like find a series of films. Last time I was at the farm, I don't know if you remember, I watched, it was in October, and I watched the original and then the two newest, it chose the newer timeline of the Halloween movies with Michael Myers as the killer.
Yep.
And then in a weird, you know, I don't know, it's not October or Halloween or anything, but I had never seen, and we decided we were going to watch the Scream movies with Ghostface.
Oh, interesting.
Because I was such a big, like, I'd never seen them, but, you know, I don't know if you remember, but as like preteens, that was the most popular Halloween costume. Everyone, when we were kids, was dressed up as Ghostface. Like there was a point in time where that mask was everywhere. And then there were variations. There was the one with the tongue sticking out. There was the one you could like squeeze the pump. It was like a clear plastic. You could like squeeze the pump and like blood would, you know, kind of come down through the face. Anyways, I had never seen them. They're pretty good.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah. Like the first one comes out in 96, then 97, then 2000, then 2011. And then there's one so we watched the first 4 and then didn't get around to watching the new one that just came out like a couple months ago. But am going to. And they are good. Like Neve Campbell is in them, who you probably won't know because she's mostly only known for the Scream movies. But Courtney Cox.
Oh, yes. I thought she was in those.
David Arquette. And then it varies, but like in, you know, for instance, in the first one, we have people like Matthew Lillard. Who you're drawing a blank on. He played Shaggy in like the live action Scooby-Doos.
Yeah, he showed up here.
And he was like without a paddle and stuff like that.
Oh, and Drew Barrymore. Yeah, I forgot she was briefly.
Very briefly.
Very briefly, yeah.
Very briefly.
Yeah. Patrick Dempsey?
Patrick Dempsey is in one of them.
What?
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Oh my goodness.
Who's the guy? He plays Jughead's father in the Riverdale series. But anyways, he's like a you know, a more known actor. I'm trying to think who else was in it that was like, oh, you're like a big face that I wasn't expecting to see. There's like in the new ones, the niece of Julia Roberts, Emma Roberts.
Oh yes, yeah.
Emma Roberts is like serious names.
Interesting,
and it's good. Yeah. Like it's tacky, and then sometimes the dialogue's weird and the cinematography's weird and stuff like that. Like it's low budget, whatever.
Yep.
But they're all directed by Wes Craven, who's like the guy. He's like he's like a horror film, slasher film icon, right? Like he's the guy behind the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Like he created Freddy Krueger and stuff like that. So
Okay.
Wes Craven is like, he's like a big deal in this genre. And it keeps you guessing. Like it's a fun mystery. Like you don't know who the killer is until the end, and like and the killer's different every time. Like it's a different person behind the mask in each movie, and you never know. And it's always a twist, and you're always like very caught off guard. But in like each time you're like, no, I buy it. Yeah, kind of. Okay, makes sense. Sure. Haven't seen the new one. Excited to see it. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Neat.
Continued watching Boy Meets World.
Oh, yes.
That's so good. And then hopped on the pop culture bandwagon
Ooh.
in a television show, an HBO show, that is very good, but very intense. Like, is a difficult watch. I don't think you would enjoy it. I think you would appreciate it for what it is.
Huh.
But I don't think you would be like, I'm hungry to watch the next one.
Right.
I am watching the Zendaya television show Euphoria.
Huh.
And it is very good. The first season has 10 episodes in it. The second season has 8. And it is a show, basically the synopsis of it is Zendaya plays a struggling drug addict who has had an overdose. She's a pill popper. She's not really, I don't think she's like shooting up heroin or anything, but she like pops pills and maybe does some cocaine.
Sure.
And you know, is faking her way through rehab. But the show deals with like that. It deals with, but like depicts, there's a lot of nudity in it, depicts physical, like domestic assault between teenagers, young adults, depicts, not incredibly graphically, but also like quite visibly, and doesn't beat around the bush or insinuate anything, depicts things like sexual assault, like full-on intercourse sexual assault between like married middle-aged men and young teenage trans women. Like it is nothing if it's not intense.
Jeez.
Very intense. Extremely intense.
Euphoria.
But really good.
Interesting.
Like, is shot really well, has very interesting cinematography, has a very fun color palette, has an incredible soundtrack. Oh my gosh. Incredible soundtrack. And Zendaya is incredible. She's incredible. Like, as an actress, prior to this, I'd only seen her in Spider-Man, and I was like, oh yeah, she's fun. I enjoy her. She has a fun energy. No, this series, she is gonna blow up as an, you know, she has a very bright future and career ahead of her. Very bright. Very good show. Very intense. Not recommended for the faint of heart. Maybe give it a try. Maybe give the first episode a try. Like I said, I don't think you would like it.
Right.
But I do think you would appreciate it. I do think you would go, this is a really good show. And I hate it. And I don't want to watch it, but it is a really good show. It's really well made.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what I watched this week. I don't think there's anything else.
Neat.
I got a book. I want to tell. Can I tell you? We're not the book men.
Well, not yet.
No, never mind. I don't know. In one cover.
Yeah.
In one paperback cover.
Okay.
I got all 3 Lord of the Rings.
Oh, right on. That's cool.
Fantastic condition.
Neat.
Older edition.
Sure.
Like probably 90s.
Very cool.
But excellent condition.
Very cool.
Value Village, $2.
beauty.
$2. Yeah.
Oh,
And I didn't previously own them. Like I have
That's
two
cool.
editions. I have a paperback Hobbit and then like a nice leather-bound gold leafing copy of The Hobbit. But didn't have a Lord of the Rings. So yeah. I'm going to wrap up reading The Hobbit or the Harry Potter books, and then I'm going to do the Middle-earth run. Yeah, maybe even in no, it won't be. It won't be in time for when we review them, but
ooh.
But yeah. So that's it, sir. Wrap this up.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. Check out our socials below: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Give us a like and a follow. Check out our Patreon page, merchandise page. Helps us support the show, pay the bills. Helps us give you perks back for helping us out. Check those out. Thank you to all our top tier patrons. So thank you to Daphne, pardon me. Sorry. Thank you to Daphne. Thank you to Brenna. Thank you to Andrew. Thank you to Marshall. Thank you to Adam. Thank you to Carl. Thank you, everyone, for supporting us in any way you do, even of a like and a comment. We do appreciate it. Specific shout-outs. We kind of gave one to Ben, but here's an official shout-out to Ben Sumner. And I thought it was coincidental that we literally talked about his awesome shed last week. I thought that was very coincidental. And on a cold winter's night like tonight, it definitely sounds appealing. And I'll give another shout out to Kevin P. Money, friend of the show. He joined us on our live action Lion King back when we were just young podcasters. And I think he likes this film as well. So
Very young. Like
very
less
young.
than 10 episodes.
Less than 10. Though the young days where we wondered who listened to us. We'd get
I didn't wonder. It was nobody.
We'd get like a listen
I didn't wonder.
trickling in, and we'd go, "Whoa! Like, did someone like drink too much and accidentally click on our link? Like, what happened
Yeah.
here?"
How did they find this? Like,
Yeah.
what?
And you know what? 3 years later, 12,000 downloads. We're still here. So
It's more than that, but
it's
more than 12. But that's you're behind the times.
When I recorded it, it was 12.
Yeah. I wanted to small disclaimer.
Yes.
If you clicked on this episode thinking, "Wow, like an hour and 45-minute discussion about Good Will Hunting, that's very exciting." And then you heard just a lot of rambling about baseball and the parenting styles of someone you don't know and have never met. And some more about baseball. And just a lot of nonsensical stuff. I'm not sorry. I'm not. No, it's our show. Mm-hmm. It's our show.
I could next time I could literally have a whole conversation about why baseball is awesome.
We got to do like we got to review like Bad News Bears or something.
There's some better
Little Big League.
sporting films for sure.
What's that one? What's the one that has
Brad Pitt,
oh, no, who's the actor in it that's
Kevin Costner.
no, there's
Which movie are you talking about?
it's based on a true story. It's a baseball movie. Is it Chadwick Boseman that was in it?
I have no idea.
Hang on.
We'll
No.
get back,
No.
we'll get back
You
to
were
the,
what? Were you about no.
we'll get
You're
back
about to end it?
next week.
No, hang on.
What
I'm just going to take half a second. Baseball movie. It is called 42.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes,
And it
the
has
Jackie.
Chadwick Boseman.
Yes, sorry, the Jackie Robinson story. Yes,
I was friggin' oh.
Harrison Ford is in it. It's a good film. Yes,
It's not even like I was like off by a little bit and you were having trouble figuring it out. I knew it exactly. And
Yeah.
you're like, I don't know.
that I will head to. Yes, sorry, my ignorance. I drew a blank. That is a good film.
Yeah, well, now I'll never know because I'm not going to watch it out of time.